A Werewolf Shifter Romance. Prologue. Hope is a dangerous thing. It can lift you higher than the clouds on a day filled with sunshine and the promise of a future you've dreamed of your entire life. It can make you believe that the boy you've loved since childhood, the heir to the pack, will finally see you. That today, in a sea of expectant faces, he will step forward, not to a beta, not to a warrior's daughter, but to you, the pack's quiet omega. That hope can make you forget the whispers of wolfless and defective. It can make you forget the years of being overlooked, of waiting for a sign that you are seen, that you are worthy. It can make you believe that when Parker, the Alpha's son, looks directly at you, his eyes will hold the promise of a shared future. But hope can also come crashing down like a fallen meteor. It can shatter a heart when Parker turns away from your hopeful face toward a more powerful Luna. It can fill your ears with the roar of the crowd and a humiliation so profound it feels like a brand on your soul. And when that hope finally dies, you run. You run from the ceremony, from the pack, from the girl who believed a lie. You run into the dark, silent forest, convinced that nothing in this world hurts more than a rejected heart. It is in that darkness, in the depths of her despair, that Ariel will discover just how wrong she is, because something else is waiting for her, a powerful Alpha King who has been watching, waiting, and is now ready to claim the rejected Omega as his own. A love so fierce, so all-consuming, that he seals their bond with a primal bite that threatens to swallow her whole. Chapter 1. Ariel wakes to the scent of foreign flowers and a throbbing pain in her neck. The cold, sterile air of the room is a stark contrast to the humid, earthy scent of the forest floor where she last remembers being. Her body is draped in sheets of impossibly soft silk, a luxury her meager Omega existence never afforded. She pushes herself to a sitting position, her fingers instinctively touching the twin puncture marks on her throat. It wasn't a dream. It was a brand. A voice, as cool and crisp as the morning air, cuts through her daze. She is told she is finally awake. Ariel, startled, pulls the sheets closer and asks where she is and who the voice belongs to. The voice belongs to a woman named Lucy, the beta of this pack, who tells her she is in the Alpha King's castle. She explains that the wolf, the bite, the bond, it all means that Ariel is his Luna now, a title she is to hold with respect, even if she doesn't understand the weight of it. Lucy's words are a slap of cold reality. The room suddenly feels less like a sanctuary and more like a cage. Ariel is not a guest. She is a possession. Ariel tells her that she is an Omega and that her old pack will be looking for her, but Lucy coldly says her old pack is no longer her concern. She tells Ariel that while she was once an Omega, she is now their Luna. A new, heavier silence falls over the room. It is broken by the sound of a door opening, and with it, a presence so powerful it steals the air from the room. The Alpha King, Jordan, stands in the doorway. He is devastatingly handsome, a chiseled god of a man with dark hair and eyes of molten gold. But there is a stillness to him, a coldness that radiates from his very core.
He looks at Ariel, and his gaze is not one of affection, but of ownership. Jordan says that Ariel is unharmed, which is good. Ariel, shaking but defiant, asks who he is. His voice is a low rumble when he says he is Jordan, her Alpha. Ariel tells him she doesn't belong to him. But Jordan's wolf says otherwise. The bond, he explains, is a matter of blood, not choice. He tells her she will be safe there, that she will be protected and will be his Luna. But she is not to mistake it for affection. His wolf has chosen her, he says. He has not. His words are a knife, a cruel but honest truth. He has offered her a crown, but no heart to go with it. Ariel's mind races, her fear turning to defiance. But before she can speak, a new scent fills the room, a mix of cinnamon and magic. Rebecca enters, a striking alpha female with crimson hair and a predatory smile. Her eyes, the color of emeralds, rake over Ariel with undisguised contempt. Rebecca says to Ariel that she is the chosen one, a whimpering omega from some forgotten pack. She says Jordan could have done so much better. Jordan tells Rebecca that this is not her concern, but Rebecca says it is my king because his choice affects them all. A Luna, she says, should be a source of strength, not a burden. A Luna, she hisses, should be her. The tension in the room is a living thing, thick with jealousy and power. Rebecca's eyes flash with magical energy as she stalks closer, a clear threat to Ariel's position and life. Jordan stands impassive, but his posture is tense. The silence that follows is deafening. Lucy whispers to Ariel that Rebecca is not what she seems.
Hours pass. Ariel is left alone to contemplate her new reality. The initial shock and fear slowly give way to a simmering defiance. She is a prisoner, but she will not be a victim. She is a rejected omega, but she will not be a pathetic one. The bond with Jordan's wolf hums beneath her skin, a constant, unwanted reminder of her new reality. It is a primal pull, a biological imperative that her heart and mind rage against. She hates him for taking her freedom, for claiming her so brutally, yet a deeper, more instinctive part of her feels a strange pull towards the power and security he represents. It is a terrifying contradiction. Ariel's focus shifts to the woman who now haunts her thoughts, the beautiful Beta, Lucy. Lucy's coldness seems less like malice and more like a carefully constructed wall. Ariel feels a strange kinship with her, another woman in this desolate castle, seemingly bound by a fate she didn't choose. When Lucy returns, she carries an armful of exquisite gowns, a stark reminder of Ariel's elevated and unwanted status. Lucy explains that as Luna, Ariel has duties, appearances to keep, and a pack to represent. The omega in her wants to scream and run, but a new steel-hard resolve takes hold. Ariel knows that she must play this part to survive. Later, as a grand feast is prepared, the tension in the castle grows. Rebecca makes her presence known, her jealousy on full display. She insults Ariel with subtle, venomous comments about her common scent and her unrefined manners. But Ariel does not break. She holds her head high, remembering her newfound resolve. The exchange between Rebecca and Jordan is strained, with Rebecca subtly trying to goad him into rejecting Ariel. But Jordan remains impassive, his wolf's claim a shield he refuses to lower.
His silence and coldness are both his greatest weakness and his greatest strength. The rest of the evening is a dance of power, with Ariel caught in the middle. She is a puppet, a symbol, an object of desire and hatred. Her eyes meet Jordan's across the great hall, and for a fleeting moment she sees something more than ownership. She sees a glimmer of the same trapped loneliness she feels, a yearning that he hides beneath his alpha facade. The curse, she realizes, is not just on him, it is on his entire existence, a cold prison he cannot escape. The night draws to a close with a final, chilling confrontation. As Ariel retreats to her chambers, Rebecca corners her. The sorceress's emerald eyes flash with power, and a strange, suffocating heat fills the hallway. Rebecca, unable to challenge Jordan directly, is using her magic to threaten Ariel. But before the magic can take hold, Lucy appears. Her cold demeanor melts into fierce protectiveness as she shields Ariel, her beta authority overriding Rebecca's magical aggression. The sorceress retreats, but not before issuing a veiled threat. Lucy, her calm facade shattered, rushes Ariel back to her room. She locks the door and turns to face her face pale with fear. She explains that Rebecca is a powerful sorceress and her true motives are far more sinister than simple jealousy. Rebecca's magic is dark, ancient, and bound to a terrible secret. A secret that threatens not just Ariel, but the entire pack. Lucy tells Ariel that to defeat Rebecca, she must discover Rebecca's dark secret, and she must find a way to break the curse that has plagued Jordan and herself for years. Ariel, left alone in her chambers,
stares at the luxurious walls that now feel more like a cell than ever before. She is a Luna, a queen in a gilded cage, trapped between a cold, unfeeling alpha king and a vengeful sorceress with a dark secret. Her heart, once broken by rejection, now hammers with a new kind of fear, the exquisite terror of being wanted too much.
Chapter 2. The days bleed into a monotonous rhythm for Ariel within the Alpha King's castle. The luxurious prison is a constant reminder of her new, unwanted reality. She is Luna, but a Luna in name only. A possession, bound by a cruel fate. Her heart still aches with the shame of Parker's rejection, but a new, more terrifying emotion has taken hold. The constant, primal pull of the mate bond to Jordan. She hates the feeling, hates him for it, but her body betrays her with every thrum of recognition when he is near. Ariel spends her days in the castle's immense, forgotten library, seeking refuge from the cold eyes of the pack and the colder gaze of Jordan. She is alone, surrounded by centuries of pack history. It is here, amongst ancient scrolls and dusty tomes, that she stumbles upon a revelation that changes everything. In a brittle book, she finds a passage about wolfless shifters, rare individuals born with all the magical potential of a shifter, but without the ability to transform. The passage describes them as being rejected by lesser packs, their power misunderstood but revered by the Alpha Kings of old. This is a cruel irony. Her perceived weakness was a lie, a misunderstanding of a rare and powerful gift. The rejection she faced, the shame of her past now makes sense, but it is a hollow victory. The library becomes her sanctuary, a world where she can exist without the suffocating weight of her title. One day, on a whim, she leaves a small riddle on a book she knows Jordan has been reading. I have a heart that cannot feel, and a mind that cannot love. Who am I? She does not expect a reply, but the next day a new book is left in its place with a single brutal response scrawled in Jordan's elegant hand. The cursed. Ariel's breath catches. He understands her. She begins a game of riddles, of books left open and whispers written on parchment. It is a secret language between them, a way to connect without facing the reality of their impossible situation. The bond between them, once a brand, begins to hum with a new kind of energy, a cautious intellectual connection that is slowly, tentatively becoming something more. One evening, deep in the library, Jordan finds her. He stands in the doorway, a shadow cast by the setting sun, but his presence is undeniable. He walks to her, the library feeling smaller and smaller with every step. He holds a book, a new riddle from her, but instead of a reply, he speaks. He tells her of his curse, how a sorceress, a powerful rival, laid a spell upon him and his sister Lucy. The curse, he explains, has made their hearts of stone. It has stripped them of all emotion, all warmth, all ability to love. His coldness, his distance is not a choice. It is a prison. He confesses that he cannot feel the passion of the mate bond, but he can feel the pull, a deep, abiding ache to protect her, a pull that defies the curse. Ariel's heart breaks for him, for the cruel, beautiful man who cannot feel. The coldness she once hated now seems like a wound, a terrible fate he has endured alone. She reaches out, her hand hovering over his. He flinches, but does not pull away. The romantic tension between them is a living thing, an unspoken truth hanging in the air. For a fleeting moment, she sees the man beneath the curse. But the moment shatters. Rebecca storms into the library, her beautiful face a mask of pure fury. She has seen their secret notes, felt the shift in their bond. Her eyes are like green fire as she looks at Ariel. She says Ariel has done the impossible, that she has found a way to reach his cursed heart. But that, she says, will not matter in the end, because she knows a truth that Ariel does not. Rebecca reveals to a horrified Ariel that Jordan is secretly meeting with a powerful rogue, a man named Robert, who is despised throughout the shifter world. The implications of this are devastating. Has Ariel's Alpha King been working against his own kind? Has all this just been a lie? Ariel's new hope, her fragile blossoming love, is instantly shattered by Rebecca's cruel revelation. The game of riddles is over, and the real game, a game of life and death, has just begun.
Chapter 3. The quiet halls of the castle, once a symbol of her gilded cage, now feel like the inside of a tomb. Ariel's heart, a fragile thing that had just begun to hope, is a raw, aching wound. Rebecca's words, "He is meeting with the rogue, Robert," are a poison in her veins. She feels a terrible chill, a betrayal that runs deeper than Jordan's curse-induced coldness. She seeks him out, her heart a tangled mess of fear and confusion, a wounded animal searching for an honest gaze in a world filled with shadows. The mate bond, which had just started to feel like a cautious hum of connection, now feels like a cold, heavy chain. She wants to tear it out, to rip him from her thoughts. But her wolf, the part of her that still recognizes his claim, refuses to let go. She finds him in his study, a room of dark wood and imposing silence, the only light coming from the flickering fireplace. He does not look up from the scrolls he is reading, the lines of his body a fortress of unfeeling stone. Ariel stands in the doorway, her presence a silent challenge to his authority. She waits for him to acknowledge her, but he simply sits, an alpha in his element, a king in his castle, and she feels smaller than ever before. Her voice trembles, thin and reedy in the immense silence, as she demands to know the truth. She asks about Robert. She asks about the rogue. She asks about the betrayal. Jordan finally looks up. His golden eyes, once a source of comfort, now feel like two distant suns, warm but untouchable. He tells her only to trust him, to accept her place, and to not meddle in things she cannot understand. His curse-induced coldness is a wall between them, stronger than any castle stone. He dismisses her, his words a cruel finality, a cold blade twisting in her already broken heart. The man who claimed her is also the man who has betrayed her. He tells her that this is his world, his kingdom, and his battles. He tells her that he is the Alpha King, and that is all she needs to know. He does not yell, he does not threaten. His voice is a low, unfeeling rumble of command, a quiet authority that is far more terrifying than rage. Ariel wants to fight, to scream, to demand answers, but she feels the weight of his power and his utter indifference.
She feels the silence that follows her dismissal, a cold, heavy blanket that suffocates all of her hope. She is nothing to him but a political arrangement, a name on a title that he does not want, a Luna without a heart. She walks from his study, the castle corridors stretching before her like an endless prison, a gilded cage built not for her protection, but for her subjugation.
Desperate and confused, Ariel finds Lucy. The beta is in the training yard, a whirlwind of grace and power, her body moving with a fluid strength that speaks of a life of battle and loss. But she stops when she sees the pain in Ariel's eyes. Ariel confesses everything, pouring out her fear, her loneliness, her sense of utter abandonment. She tells Lucy that she feels like a possession, a bargaining chip in a game she doesn't understand. She tells her about the mate bond, about Jordan's coldness, about Rebecca's revelation. Lucy listens, her own cold mask cracking as she hears the words. She takes Ariel by the hand, her touch surprisingly warm and human, and leads her to a quiet corner of the castle, away from prying eyes and listening ears. Her heart heavy with grief, Lucy reveals a painful truth. Robert killed her mate years ago. The confession hangs in the air, a heavy shroud of loss and violence. Ariel realizes with a sickening certainty that the man Jordan is meeting with is a murderer. Her new Luna life is built on a foundation of lies and betrayal. But Lucy, seeing Ariel's despair, makes a desperate choice. She reveals the full, devastating truth. Robert, she explains, is no ordinary rogue. He is a powerful shaman, a master of old magic. He is also Ariel's biological father. The words hit Ariel like a physical blow, a truth so shocking it defies reality. Ariel asks Lucy how this is possible. She asks how she could be the daughter of a murderer and a sorcerer. Lucy explains that Robert laid the curse on Jordan and herself, a curse to sever them from their emotions. He has been manipulating them all from the shadows, a puppet master pulling their strings. He is helping them with the curse not out of kindness, but to gain power. Lucy then gives Ariel a secret map, a family heirloom, that leads to an old cottage, her childhood home. This, she says, is where Robert can be found. Ariel realizes with a terrible clarity that the man Jordan is meeting with is a murderer. With new resolve, Ariel flees the castle. The escape is a desperate flight into the unknown. She travels for hours, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. She is no longer just a rejected Omega, but a heroine on a mission to save the one who claimed her. As she nears the cottage, a strange scent, one of old magic and betrayal, fills the air. A shadow separates from the trees, a powerful rogue shifter sent by Rebecca. He steps into the moonlight, and a familiar chill runs down Ariel's spine. She knows this shifter. He was the one who had watched her in the park, the one who had tried to intimidate her. He says Rebecca sends her regards. And then he reveals a final shocking truth. Rebecca is the one who cursed Jordan and Lucy, and Robert is her ally. She used her magic to control them all, and now she is ready to reclaim her prize. Ariel, her mind reeling from the betrayal, is taken captive and dragged into the darkness toward Rebecca's lair. Chapter 4. Ariel wakes to the cold bite of stone beneath her cheek and the heavy, cloying scent of dark magic. The air is thick with a magical oppression that feels like a weight on her chest, a physical manifestation of the sorceress who holds her captive. The throbbing of the mate bond, a constant presence, is a dull ache, overshadowed by a new, more terrifying terror. The shame of her past, the humiliation of Parker's rejection, all of it feels so distant now, a memory from another lifetime. Now, the only thing that matters is survival. She tries to call out, to scream, but the magic stifles her voice, turning her cries into a choked whisper. The iron door groans open, and Rebecca enters. She is not in her alpha uniform, but in a gown of shimmering crimson, her beautiful face a mask of sadistic triumph. Her emerald eyes rake over Ariel, filled with a cold, predatory light. Rebecca tells Ariel that she has been waiting for this moment. She says that she knew Jordan would eventually find a way to break his curse, and she knew that the key to breaking his curse would be an Omega, a fragile, helpless thing who would be easy to manipulate. But Ariel, she says, is not a helpless Omega. She says that Ariel is a wolfless shifter, and that her lack of a wolf is a sign of a rare but powerful magical lineage. Rebecca says that her true power is not in her physical strength, but in her magical heritage. She explains that Ariel is the key to breaking Jordan's curse, and she plans on using her to destroy him. She plans to mate with her father, Robert, to become a more powerful sorceress. Rebecca's words are a poison, a dark and terrible truth that twists everything Ariel thought she knew. Her father, Robert, is not just a rogue, but an ally to this monster. He is a part of this evil, a willing participant in a plot to enslave them all. The truth fills Ariel with a new, steel-hard resolve. She may be a captive, a wolfless shifter, a woman without a pack, but she is not a victim. Ariel spends days in the cell, meditating, trying to find the source of her magical power. She practices, trying to feel the energy within her, the magic that Rebecca has told her she possesses. It is a slow, agonizing process, but with each day she feels a flicker of warmth, a spark of energy, a new sense of self. She realizes that her curse is not a curse at all, but a gift. Her wolfless shifter identity is a magical heritage, a powerful lineage she can use to fight back. One day the iron door groans open, but this time it is not Rebecca who enters. It is the rogue shifter, the one who kidnapped her. He is tall and intimidating, but there is a strange vulnerability in his eyes. He is torn, he says, by his loyalties. He tells Ariel that Rebecca's mate was his brother. Rebecca, he explains, is a sorceress, and she has manipulated him, using him as a pawn in her game. He reveals that Rebecca is the one who cursed Jordan and Lucy, and that Robert is her ally. He says that Lucy's mate was his brother, and Robert killed him. But Rebecca, he says, told him a false story to make him believe in her, and his true intentions are sinister. Ariel's heart breaks for him, for the broken, beautiful shifter who has been manipulated by Rebecca's evil. She realizes that he is not a monster, but a man in pain. He tells Ariel that he will help her escape. He tells her that he has a plan and that they must act quickly. Rebecca's magic is a powerful weapon, and she will use it to destroy Jordan. Ariel, with a newfound resolve, agrees to his plan. She knows that she must not only escape, but find a way to stop Rebecca. As they escape, Ariel manages to steal a magical artifact, a magical amulet from Rebecca's lair. She knows that this amulet, a powerful weapon of ancient magic, is the key to defeating Rebecca. The rogue shifter, a man who has become her unlikely ally, tells her that the only way to stop Rebecca is to find Ariel's father, Robert.
But first, they must go to Lucy's family home and uncover the secrets of her past. Ariel, her mind racing with a mix of fear and determination, agrees to the plan. She knows that she must not only escape, but find a way to stop Rebecca. She is no longer just a captive, a wolfless shifter, but a hero on a mission to save the one who claimed her. The taste of victory is a bitter one.
Chapter 5. The biting cold of the forest air is a familiar comfort to Ariel, a stark contrast to the suffocating chill of Rebecca's lair. She and the rogue shifter, a man who has become an anchor in this storm of betrayal, move silently through the trees, the map from Lucy a fragile promise in her hand. The mate bond, once a source of terror, now feels like a distant plea, a desperate call she can't answer until she knows the full truth. The shame of being a defective Omega now seems like a lifetime ago. Now a new, more horrifying truth looms before her. The identity of her father, a powerful shaman who, for all she knows, is also a murderer. The rogue shifter, a man of few words and profound pain, leads the way. He is quiet, his mind a fortress of grief and regret, and Ariel feels an odd kinship with him. They are two victims of the same man, a father and a sorcerer who has twisted their lives into a monstrous tapestry of lies. They arrive at a clearing. A small, simple cottage sits in the center, a wisp of smoke rising from its stone chimney. The air, thick with the scent of old wood and forgotten memories, also carries the acrid tang of powerful magic, a magic Ariel now understands is her birthright. The rogue shifter, his body coiled with a warrior's tension, pauses, his golden eyes scanning the woods for traps. He whispers to Ariel, his voice rough with a hatred that chills her to the bone. He says that the man inside is not her father but a monster who has manipulated them all for his own gain. He tells her that he is the shaman, the sorcerer, who has laid a curse on Jordan and his family. He says that Lucy has been manipulated by him for years, believing that he was a friend, when in reality, he was a monster. The rogue shifter explains that Robert is a powerful alpha, but one who cares for nothing but power. He is the master of magic, a sorcerer of ancient, dark spells. He is not her father, but a monster in a man's skin. Ariel, her heart a tangled mess of fear and confusion, knows she must go inside.
They push open the cottage door and step into a cozy, rustic living room. The air is warm and filled with the scent of roasted meat and herbs. A man sits by the fire, reading a book. He is old, his face lined with the wisdom of many years, but his eyes, a haunting shade of green, are filled with a fierce, untamed power. He is Ariel's father. His name is Robert. He looks up from his book, his eyes beating Ariel's with a shocking intensity. There is no joy in his expression, no fatherly affection, only a cold, calculating greed that makes Ariel's stomach lurch. She asks him if he is her father. He simply smiles, a cruel, cold expression that makes her feel sick. He says that he is, and that she has his eyes. He says that he knew she would come, that her power would be drawn to him, her creator. Ariel's heart pounds against her ribs. She feels a terrible chill, a betrayal that runs deeper than any Parker's rejection could ever inflict. She tells him that she knows what he is. She tells him that she knows he is a monster, a shaman who has manipulated them all for his own gain. But Ariel's father simply laughs, a hollow, bitter sound that makes the rogue shifter growl beside her. He says that he is indeed a shaman, a master of ancient magic. He says that he has laid a curse on Jordan to make him stronger, to sever him from his emotions, to make him the most powerful alpha in the world. He explains that he can only gain power by absorbing his children's magical energy. He says that Ariel, as a wolfless shifter, is a source of immense power, and that he plans to use her to gain control of the shifter world. He says that he will be a king, a master of all magic, and a ruler of all alphas. Ariel feels a sickening certainty that her father is a monster. She realizes that her curse is not a curse at all, but a gift. Her wolfless shifter identity is a magical heritage, a powerful lineage that she must use to fight back. She asks her father how he could do this to her. She asks him how he could manipulate Lucy and Jordan. He says that he simply used them as pawns in his game, that their emotions were a weakness he could exploit. He tells Ariel that he gave Lucy a false story to make her believe in him, and his true intentions were sinister. He says that he told Lucy that the curse was the only way to save her family from a deadly plague. Ariel, her heart a tangled mess of fear and confusion, realizes that her father is not a man, but a monster. She looks at the rogue shifter, at the pain in his eyes, at the warrior's strength in his body, and she knows that they must fight. They must fight for Lucy, for Jordan, for the entire shifter world. But before they can do that, the cottage door bursts open. A cold, determined look is on her face. Lucy stands in the doorway with a look of pure betrayal. Ariel and the rogue shifter look at each other, realizing with a sickening certainty that they are trapped. Robert stands, his face a mask of sadistic triumph. He says that they have been a fool. He says that Lucy has been his prisoner all along, her loyalty a convenient weapon he has used against them. Lucy is a beta, a warrior who has been manipulated by a sorcerer. Robert says that he will kill her if Ariel does not give him the magical amulet she stole from Rebecca. The rogue shifter snarls beside her, his body coiled with a warrior's tension. Ariel, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and confusion, knows that this is the final battle. The monster, her father, has taken his final prisoner, and she must fight to save them all. She must fight for the one who claimed her, for the one she has grown to love, for the one who is the master of her heart.
Chapter 6. The air is thick with the scent of ozone and the hum of raw, ancient magic. The small cottage, once a symbol of quiet sanctuary, now feels like a tomb. Robert stands with Lucy, his captive, his hand at her throat, his eyes, a chilling shade of green, fix on Ariel, a cruel smirk on his lips. He says that he knew she would come, that her power would be drawn to him. He says that he will kill Lucy, the woman who has served him so faithfully, if Ariel does not give him the magical amulet she stole from Rebecca's lair. The rogue shifter, a man who has become her anchor in this storm of betrayal, snarls, his body coiled with a warrior's tension. He tells Ariel that she must not give him the amulet. He tells her that this is the final battle, a battle for all of their souls. The battle begins. Robert, a shaman of immense power, summons a whirlwind of dark energy, a torrent of raw, untamed magic that tears through the cottage. Ariel, Lucy, and the rogue shifter fight side by side. The rogue shifter, a warrior of immense strength and resolve, lunges at Robert, his body a blur of motion. He is a warrior of the pack, a master of battle, and he fights with a primal rage that chills Ariel to the bone. Lucy, a beta with a cold, determined heart, also fights. She is a woman who has been manipulated by a monster, and she fights for her freedom, her life, her love for her pack. She fights with a grace and power that speaks of a life of battle and loss, and Ariel feels an odd kinship with her. They are two women who have been betrayed by the same man, and they fight for the same thing, to be free. The battle of magic and will is a furious maelstrom. Robert, a master of old magic, sends bolts of dark energy at his children, at Ariel and the rogue shifter, trying to absorb their magical energy. But Ariel, a wolfless shifter with a newfound resolve, is not a victim. She uses her magical heritage, her power to deflect his attacks, her body a beacon of light in the darkness. She is a shaman, a woman of immense magical power, and she fights to protect her pack. She fights to protect the one who claimed her, the one she has grown to love. She fights to protect the one who is the master of her heart. The climax of the battle arrives. Robert, his body radiating a cold, dark power, stands before Ariel. He says that she is a fool. He says that he is the most powerful shaman in the world and that she cannot defeat him. But Ariel is not a fool. She is a woman who has been betrayed, a woman who has been used, a woman who has been hurt. But she is not a victim. She pulls out the magical amulet she stole from Rebecca's lair, a powerful artifact that can absorb magic and defeat any shaman. The amulet, a beacon of pure, untamed light, hums with a ferocious energy as it begins to absorb her father's power. The raw, untamed magic flows from Robert, a torrent of dark energy that drains his strength, his life, his soul. He screams, a hollow, guttural sound that fills the room with a chilling despair. He falls to his knees, his body a broken, empty vessel, and the monster is finally defeated. The curse is broken. Jordan, Ariel, Lucy, and the rogue shifter are free. The world is saved from Robert's tyranny. Jordan, his curse-induced coldness gone, rushes to Ariel, pulling her into a fierce, protective embrace. His golden eyes, once a symbol of his coldness, now burn with a passionate love that makes Ariel's heart pound. He says that he loves her, that he has always loved her, and that he has always wanted to be with her. Lucy and the rogue shifter, a woman of few words and a man of immense pain, share a moment of understanding. Lucy's mate was killed by Robert, but his brother, the rogue, has helped her to defeat him and heal from her past. The world is safe for now. Ariel and Jordan, their hearts a unified rhythm, stand together, a king and queen who have fought for their love. The rogue shifter, his body a fortress of pain and regret, looks at Lucy, and for a fleeting moment she sees a flicker of hope in his golden eyes. A new beginning has come.
Epilogue. 1 year has passed since the final battle, a year that has seen the world transform. The Alpha King's castle is no longer a prison of cold, dark stone, but a sanctuary of love and warmth. Ariel and Jordan, now a unified couple, rule the pack together, their love a beacon of hope in a world filled with shadows. The curse that had plagued Jordan and his family for years is finally broken. Lucy, her cold, determined heart now full of a fierce, protective love for her pack, stands with the rogue shifter, a man who has become her mate. They are a family now, a testament to the power of love, to the resilience of the human spirit, to the transformative power of a second chance. Ariel has discovered her true identity. She is not an Omega, but a powerful shaman like her father, but with a good heart. She uses her powers to help her people and protect them from evil. The pack, once a place of fear, is now a place of unity and love. Ariel and Jordan have a child, a son with his father's golden eyes and his mother's magical energy. He is a testament to their love, a living symbol of their hope, a promise that a new, better world is waiting for them all. The curse is broken. The pack is free. The world is saved from tyranny. A new era has begun. The end. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed Ariel's journey as she discovered her true power and faced her deepest fears. I know I certainly enjoyed writing it. If you enjoyed this story, a like or comment really helps support the channel. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this story. Thank you.